I'm gonna be honest, this video and the next one might be the most spontaneous reviews to come out of this year, but I felt with the recent news it would be too big of an opportunity not to miss. So, a bit of background. Earlier this year, Viz Media announced there will be a brand new anime called Blacktorch coming soon, with a promotional video to accompany it. While this doesn't appear unusual to the average anime watcher, most manga readers, including me who read the manga all simultaneously, said, "Wasn't this manga cancelled?" Granted, kudos to the animation studio 100 Studio for taking a canceled manga and giving it the spotlight, which is successful, could lead to more canceled manga getting the adaptation treatment, meaning there's a chance that Gambler's Parade might get an anime. But I wouldn't hold my breath, as it looks like Kodaka is prioritizing other projects like trapping another set of teenagers at a school to be killed. But anyway, this video will be on the shorter side, given that the manga only has 19 chapters. Which is fine for me, since May is usually hectic around this time, so I'm not going to waste any more time with this intro and get right into it. The manga was created by Tsuyoshi Takaki, who recently wrapped up his latest manga called Heartgear, which I highly recommend if you're a fan of sci-fi, and I might make a separate video in the future covering this manga. Takaki had been around the manga industry for a while now, publishing his first one-shot Freaks in 2016. When it came to the creation of Blacktorch, the idea was a lot simpler than you might think. He just wanted to do a battle action manga set in the modern day and use ninja as a motif. Because hey, everybody at least knows what a ninja is. The Blacktorch was serialized in Shueisha's Jump Square magazine from December 31st, 2016 to July 11, 2018, releasing 5 volumes. The story begins by introducing the main character Jiro Asuma, who is your typical delinquent with a heart of gold, training the art of ninjutsu, and can talk to animals. He lives with his grandpa, and one day after dealing with some punks, some animals lead him to a severely injured cat in the woods. Like any animal lover, Jiro takes the cat home and nurses it back to health, where it's discovered that the cat named Rago is a mononoke, a Japanese vengeful spirit. He doesn't have any memories of his past other than knowing he was sealed for a long time, and when he woke up, he was surrounded by several mononoke who wanted to recruit him for something. Rago declined, so instead of taking his answer and leaving, the other mononoke just jumped him, leading to this situation. It doesn't take long for Rago's troubles to catch up to him, as later that night, Rago attempts to sneak out but is caught by Jiro, and they are both attacked by one of the mononoke Rago encountered earlier. The mononoke stabs Jiro through the chest, and as a result of the short time they both spent together, out of feeling indebted to Jiro for saving him earlier, Rago fuses with Jiro to give him a second chance at life. Together, they killed the Mononoke, and this act was seen by someone who was also looking for Rago, called the Bureau of Espionage, who took them both into custody and explained what they do. This is where the ninja motif set in the present day comes from, as the Bureau comes from a Shinobi organization that was employed during the Edo period, but changed professions once Japan transitioned to modern times. Usually this organization is more in the shadows, staying with espionage and gathering information. However, every once in a while they deal with Mononoke cases, though the way they handle these cases is usually through eradication. But the chief of the bureau, Ryosuke Shiba, sees an opportunity in Jiro's case and offers an ultimatum: to join the bureau's new squad, Blacktorch, and help them battle powerful Mononoke who seek to devour innocent people, or remain contained for the rest of his life. Unsurprisingly, both Jiro and Rago take the former option, and that's pretty much the plot for Blacktorch. You might have noticed I didn't go too much into detail in the first chapter, and that's because there's not much substance to it. It's pretty straightforward, and it's something I noticed when it comes to Takaki's writing style, even in his other manga. But while Takaki is weak in the writing department, he definitely makes up for it in his art style, as his illustrations have this great quality of being detailed and sketchy to convey a rough but loose look. The character designs also remind me of Bleach, with the way the faces are angular and sharp, so I wouldn't be surprised if Takaki was inspired by it. Like, look at this panel that features the main antagonist. You cannot tell me that this doesn't look similar to one of Ichigo's hollow forms. As for the characters, well, Just think of every shonen character trope you can think of, and you will have an idea of just about every character in this manga. The headstrong protagonist, the skilled and experienced female who doesn't want to be underestimated, the serious member who's always at odds with the main protagonist causing a rivalry, the aloof and nonchalant captain leading and mentoring the team, etc. And tropes like these aren't bad, as they could be building blocks to develop your characters as the story goes along. However, Blacktorch doesn't get this treatment because, and you're gonna hear me say this a lot, but it needs to be empathized, 19 chapters. 19 chapters! To give the manga some leeway, the length of the chapters have an average of between 45 to 49 chapters, meaning that there's some decent pacing, and there are a few characters that are given some insight into their, character. For instance, Ichika Kishimojin, the experienced female that I mentioned before, shows a biases towards Mononoke due to an incident that caused her mother's death. Rago's backstory gets shown, at least the build-up that led to him being sealed, and there's a hint of a setup involving his attachment issues that can work well with a certain plot point that happens later in the manga. And even Jiro's grandpa Toshimasa has some history with the Bureau since he's a retired member. Unfortunately, none of these plot points barely get developed, as by the time the manga gets to chapter 9, the pacing goes way off the rails, while also trying to wrap up the main plot involving the main antagonist Amagi. At the very least, the manga has an ending, a very rushed and overwhelming ending, but still an ending, which is a blessing considering how canceled projects go. Honestly, you can view this manga as season 1 of an anime, as even the afterword has written descriptions of what Takagi had planned for some characters, such as Ichika having a special family ability and how her family line has extremely matriarchal views, more info on Rago's past, and Jiro starting to look more into his past and hunt down his father, who is foreshadowed to be still alive in a blinking you'll miss it moment. Overall, I would give Blacktorch an okay recommendation to read, and I'm intrigued as to what the anime will do regarding the adaptation. Whether they'll stick to the manga to a T or change things up after laying down the foundation of the story, we'll have to see in the future. Personally, I want to see the different Mononoke legends. And if you already read the manga, let me know your thoughts on the manga and the upcoming anime in the comments below. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Do you think the anime has a chance of succeeding? Until then, thanks for watching everyone. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for more of my manga related content. I hope you have a decent day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath.